As a child, I always found comfort with people. It gave me this sort of feel in which I found comfort in. Any scars I would have would go away with people. Whether it be in fear of monsters or vengeful spirits, the joyful sound of the garage door to my house always made me happy. Being an only child myself, I was always scared because I did not have what I always wanted besides me. My room is where I spent my days. I had a daily pattern: go home, do homework, walk up the stairs, go down the hallway to my room and wait. I would find comfort in playing games online in which players may speak to other players. Voice communication was the best I found for me. While playing those games, I would wait for that great sound of my garage door opening. My dog would bark, my mom would greet my dog, and I would then greet my mother when I walked downstairs and welcomed her. This day was not the same as it usually was. While playing some TF2 and playing my favorite class, The Spy, the same player would always find me and kill me. Even if I was invisible, I would be slain by this person. Strange, I thought. Until I heard the voice. I am always watching. It was very creepy. It had a deep pitch to it, and it almost sounded like it was all the people could hear. People saying what the fuck and what the hell filled the side chat. I got freaked out, then closed the tab and went on YouTube and started to watch funny videos. I then thought the guy was just kidding the whole time to try to explain that to myself. Around 30 minutes later, after watching the videos, I heard the glorious sound of my garage door opening. I can tell you I was relieved to hear the blissful sound of it opening. Then I heard the door open and my dog barking. As usual, but then I heard a faint clicking sound and the dog stopped barking. Weird. There wasn't any sound of my mom saying hello to my dog. Silence. What the hell is going on here? I thought as I began to get up from the desk, but at the very moment my router went out. Now I was getting scared. I ran down the stairs. All that I saw were muddy footprints. No sign of my mom nor my dog. Except these footprints. They were red. Dark red. They seemed to drag off into the router room. Around this moment I was freaking out. I started to yell Mom as I walked over to investigate where the footprints led. The footprints led through each other. One pattern seemed to lead towards the garage door, so I walked towards it. I found that the door was open and so was the garage. I freaked out and ran. I ran straight towards the router room so I could call the police. Dead. It was staring right at me. My dog's corpse. Its neck flung to the side. I started to cry and called the police. They sent a police squad right over. They investigated, and I called my mother and she immediately left work to come see what happened. She came back and we hugged and cried together. The investigators started to look around, and as they went into the basement we heard yelling and a gunshot, and they scurried back. They called back to the station to ask for assistance to dispose of a dead body. They then told us what they saw. They found a hole. A large hole in which a human could fit through behind our old wardrobe. A 50-some-year-old man lived in our basement, and, judging by the amount of feces and urine in the corner of this hole, he has lived in there for a while. He would steal a small amount of items we would not notice. Cans of food, small water bottles, toilet paper, minimal things in need for survival. He also had a computer in which he probably played with me on. But the scariest thing was they found my personal items: used shirts, food wrappers, strands of hair from one of my brushes, toothbrushes, fingernail clippings, photos, and even flash drives of videos me and my friends would make when bored. He was obsessed with me. When they investigated more, they found out that he would use my computer. He knew my Steam name. He would look through my history and go through my files while I was at school. They found out his name. Joseph Meyer, a son of a German immigrant who went missing around the age of 14. While looking through DNA files, they found out many cases of murders linked to him. All around my age. They had been murdered around 1.5 years to 2 years with him living in their house. All of them were killed, then sexually abused. He was apparently plotting to attract me by opening my garage door, then he would murder me. Fortunately, he must have thought I had a friend over and ran back to the hole. My mom got a job in which she would stay at home to help comfort me. To this day, I always check my house everywhere in case another man may be living in my house. Since I was 17, I have had extreme scopophobia and am barely able to sleep to this day. It was the summer after my sophomore year of high school. I was really excited about the break and I started thinking about everything I could do without all of my school assignments keeping me busy. My parents both work jobs that last all day until 5 o'clock, so I was alone at home every weekday until then. I would often just hang out by myself watching TV and playing video games. I felt relatively safe because even if somebody decided to try and break in, my dog would bark his head off to warn me. My dog is small and not too threatening, but in the event of an emergency I could always rely on him to give some sort of warning if I received an uninvited visitor. For reference, I live in a second-story apartment with 3 bedrooms. It's not too large, and since it was on the second story, I didn't really fear anyone breaking in unnoticed. The front door leads into the living room, and directly to the right is my parents' room. If you walk a few feet to the left, there is a small kitchen area and a hallway that leads to my room, the third room that was used for laundry, and my bathroom. So now that all that's explained, I'll get on to the story. It was the middle of June, and I had set an alarm around 9 or 10 o'clock to get an earlier start to my day. I would often stay up very late, so I usually woke up around noon or the afternoon. I woke up, took a shower, and decided my dog could use a walk. I put his leash on and looked for my key to lock the door before leaving. I couldn't find it anywhere. I thought for a second, and then realized when I went to eat at a restaurant with my parents yesterday, I used the key to lock the door when I left, and I brought it with me. The key was on a lanyard, and I took it off in my mom's car. I must have forgotten it when we came back home. I figured it wasn't too big of a deal and nobody would know the door was unlocked anyways. So I left to walk my dog with the door unlocked.